Capone. Welcome back again, and we are live. Sorry about that. I'm going to get this thing ready, and I'm going to make sure that I have fewer hiccups. That's my promise for this year, is to have fewer hiccups and to be consistent. And so far I've been on almost every day, and I'm going to keep that up. But as usual, let's start with the housekeeping. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe, spread it around. If you want to contribute, down below is Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, and PayPal. I know I look kind of rough this morning. I just got off a 12-hour shift, but you know what? I made myself work out. I had to get my 45 minutes in and push myself, because I have to be the best I can be, because you can't talk to people and tell men to be the best that they can be when you're out here slacking on the job. So my regiment and my self-discipline has to be consistent if I'm going to tell other men to be consistent. I was talking to another gentleman last night. We were talking about the state of men in this country and how men are in the decline. Being that men are now being convinced that they should express their feelings, and it's okay to cry. And there was a young lady that wanted to get in on the conversation. She was saying, men should be able to cry. They should be able to express themselves. I like a man that way. And that's a total lie. You cry in front of a woman, you have killed all credibility. You will never, ever get that respect back from a woman if you cry, because a woman wants a man to lead. They want a man that's unemotional. They want a man who is able to stand tough when the winds are blowing. They don't need a man who's going to say everything is going to be all right. And if you're breaking down and you're unsure, you don't bring any confidence to her world. And after that, the conversation of depression and being sad came up. And I said, you're a man. You don't have time. A man doesn't have time to be depressed. You have things to do. You have to take care of yourself. If you have a family, you have a family to take care of. You have children to take care of. How are you going to be depressed? How are you going to take a mancation away from your responsibilities? Men don't have that luxury. Only women and children can sit around and cry and bellyache and fall on the floor and throw tantrums and cry about how the world is unfair. Men don't understand the word fair, because the world is not fair. The world doesn't give you understanding. So men understand that no one cares about your problems and no one cares about your labor pains. They just want to see the baby, meaning that you need to be productive and you need to produce, or no one cares about you. And just as I today came home after a 12-hour shift, most people would be dragging. I said, no, I'm not tired. I need to be the best me. And that means taking care of myself. You can't work if you don't take care of yourself. You can't be productive if you can't take care of yourself. You can't think straight if you don't take care of yourself. So you have to say, I am important, and I'm going to take care of me so I can take care of others. If you don't have a personal goal for yourself, the world is going to have one for you. And the goal that the world is trying to set is that, you should be emotional and you should express yourself, and it's okay. Get on those medications and zonk yourself out and become nothing. But they mock you at the same time. And if a man is not on his best game, he's going to get and accept what he works for. And if you're not working for anything, you don't deserve anything. How can you expect the world if you don't put in the work? You're going to have those feelings, those moments when you say, hey, you know what? I'll put that on till tomorrow. And you know what? I can do that later. Or, I know I said I was going to lose weight, but, I'm going to start that next week. Next week turns into next month. Next month turns into next year. You have to have the discipline to say, no, right now. And if you have a lot of men, this is why it's like Andrew Tate. He says, it's not good to live with women. It's good to be away from women because women will lull you to sleep. They'll say, you look fine, honey. You don't have to lose any weight. You don't need to work out. But you know what? The guy that they pass in the street or the guy that they see at work, the guy that they see at the beach, walking by with this nice six-pack, she's going to look at that guy. And she's going to look at you and say, huh, he used to look like that. And then she's going to lose more respect for you because you let yourself go. A man has no reason and has no time to let himself go. You have to work yourself out. You have to be fit. You have to be ambitious because that is your edge over all other men. If you're not ambitious, you're just a regular Joe. If you're not out there fighting and thriving to be better on a daily basis, on a consistent basis, then you're just an average man. Because a man of value is always saying, how can I be better? How can I improve? How can I make more money? How can I keep myself fit? How can I keep my mind sharp? I need to read more. I need to study more. If you're not reading, if you're not studying, you're wasting your brain. If you're watching garbage, feeding yourself garbage, like soap operas and rom-coms and watching silly videos on TikTok or YouTube, your brain is rotting. You should always be more intellectual than the other guy. You should always want to know more than the other guy. You should always want to keep building your knowledge base so when confronted or you're engaging in a conversation, you want to be knowledgeable. If you're not knowledgeable, people are going to judge you. They're going to say, huh, this guy's a half-wit. Because men judge each other by what you produce. So the first thing a man asks is, hey, what do you do? They want to know what your profession is. They want to know, hey, where do you live? What are you producing? And if you're not producing, they don't want to talk to you. They shun you because their thing is, hey, I got to measure, I got to size this guy up. You know, oh, he looks fit. Hey, he has a decent job. He makes really good money. Hey, what do you drive? Hey, that's a nice vehicle you got there. Hey, that's a nice house you got there. He's doing okay. The measurement of a man is what he produces. The measurement of a woman is the type of man she can obtain and keep. And most women can't keep a man. And most men, once they encounter a woman, will realize that, she's not what she presented herself to be, so I need to make my exit. And many women will say, well, why didn't he call me back? And why doesn't he want to spend time with me? Because you're not offering much, honey. Other than sexual access, you don't bring much. And that's why many men get tired of women, because once you get past the sex and the rah-rah of it, it's like you don't say much. You don't know much. And you're not offering much more than that. Many women are just quiet. They'll sit and won't add anything to the conversation. It's like that gets kind of boring because some men want a little bit of feedback. You got to have a little bit of knowledge base. You have to be able to give me some feedback and say, hey, I know about that. Let's talk about that. You know, give me your opinion on that. Let's have a little back and forth. You know, give me your opinion, I'll give you mine. We'll see, where we stand on the issue. It makes it more enjoyable. And this is why men like to hang around other men of equal caliber. And most men don't want to hang around women because other than being pretty, they don't bring much to the table. But as I said before, as a man, you have to always look for other avenues to enrich yourself. Also, keeping yourself fit, keeping a strong and sharp mind. All of those things are very important. And at the end of the conversation, the guy said, yeah, you're right. You know, You don't have time to be depressed. If you have a family, the last thing they want to hear is that, oh, I'm depressed. I can't go on. Oh, I need to go sit in a room by myself, so I can cry. And they're going to say, well, that doesn't pay the bills. Hey, that doesn't take care of the household. That doesn't protect us. That doesn't bring us security. You and your feelings, and your girl is going to look at you and say, well, isn't that my role to be acting that way? You're very effeminate. And she's going to lose all respect for you. This new age beta male pushed by society, usually from the left, is basically destroying men. It's destroying their worth and their purpose. Men no longer have purpose. You have to search for your purpose and build your purpose, make a purpose, because society is saying, hey, we don't want men to be men. We want men to be reduced to nothing so male imitations can feel better. Because if you're no better than your male imitator, you're on the same level. Anyone can throw on some jeans and some Fruit of the Looms and cut their hair off and put on some Birkenstocks. That doesn't make you a man. You might get yourself all pudgy and cut your hair off and put on some glasses and a tie-dye shirt and some cargo pants and some Birkenstocks and walk around with the man walk. And it's like, no, you're still a lady. And I'm not on the level of a woman trying to pretend to be a man. But you have so many men now who have no usefulness. Their utility is gone. They can't fix anything. They have no tools. They can't troubleshoot. What is your purpose? If you can't be Mr. Fix-It and Mr. Solve a problem and Mr. I will protect, then you come up short as a man. And that is the dilemma that most men are running into. You find men who are just laxed. They don't have any ambition. They're hanging around the house. And women are saying, well, where are the good men? And my response to many of them is that you raised them. You didn't demand anything from your sons. You demanded a lot from your daughters, but you said, a man is a man. He's going to make it somehow. And you have a lot of men sitting on corners. You have a lot of men sitting in basements of their parents. You have a lot of men doing dead-end jobs. You have a lot of men who are basically waste people. And that needs to change to save the status of this country. This country is failing because men won't stand up. And they're not taking charge. Because women don't lead and men don't follow women. But you have these men out here who say, let women lead. And I say, you should shut up because you don't speak for men. Maybe you should go back and get your jeans and make sure you put something in those underwear because you think you lost them. I think you lost them. I think the girl in the cargo shorts picked them up, but they don't fit her. But I think red pill is a way to save men, and it has saved a lot of men. It has changed their perspective of life. It has saved men from deleting themselves. Red pill has purpose and is saving men from the politics of society, from the pressures of society. It says we have a forum or a space where men can converse, talk about the issues that we have, and not be emotional, but be rational and say, hey, I see it, you see it, let's do something about it. Live your best life. Be productive. Be masculine, unapologetically masculine. And don't simp for people who don't see your value, because eventually you'll see that those people aren't worth your time. You should never have to prove your value to anyone. They should see it. And if they don't see it, keep pushing. Keep moving. And when you go past them, and you trust me, you always come past a person, again in life. You're going to say, oh, still there, huh? And you're going to say, well, tough, because people, once they disrespect you, you should never respect them back. Never respect anyone that disrespects you. Because once they've shown you their backside, that's all you need to know. Because eventually they'll show it to you again, and never let them back to disrespect you again. As a man, you will never expect or accept disrespect. Your respect is earned, and the fact that someone would try to disrespect you says they don't have a space or a place in your life. No, let me know. Drop a note in the bottom. Send me a message to my email. That's also located down below. And as I said before, I'm going to try to keep busy, get more out to feed the algorithm. And see you next time. As always, this is Ace Capone. Peace. And I'm gone.